Penguin Rock. I hope everyone is enjoying their afternoon today. You're in for a special treat as this is feeding time for our African penguins. These guys are also known as black-footed penguins or even jackass penguins because of their donkey-like braying sound. Now before I get into too much detail about the penguins, I'd like to tell you a little bit about some of the other birds you'll see in this area of the zoo. Over in this pool with the blue awning over top, you will find two large white birds with pouch-shaped beaks. These are our American white pelicans. Now the white pelican is one of the largest species of pelican with a wingspan of up to 9 feet. They also have large pouch-shaped beaks that help them during their feeding time out in the wild. They will swim over a body of water looking for fish, and when they find some, they dunk their head down into the water, fill their beak with 2 to 3 gallons of water and fish, and squeeze the water out the side to keep the fish. Now speaking of fish, I'll get back to the African penguins. I'll let you show them their kids. So everybody out here is getting a type of fish called capelin. Along with their fish, they also get daily vitamins and preventative medicines. Looking around at our large group of 22 penguins, you may wonder how I make sure that each bird gets their own vitamins and medicines. If you take a moment to look at the wing of each penguin, you'll see a band with a color combination on it. That color combination is unique to the bird and serves as their name tag. You may also notice that some birds have their bands on the right wing and others on the left. That is because males have their bands on the right wing and females on the left. If you happen to notice a bird out here who looks a little scruffy, it isn't because they're an older penguin. It's actually because they're going to begin or finish their molting period. A molt is when a bird loses all of their old feathers and grows fresh, clean new ones. All birds molt, but most birds lose just a couple of feathers at a time. They molt that way because they need to use the rest of their feathers for flying. Now obviously penguins don't use their feathers for flying, they use them for waterproofing and insulation. So the way that penguins will molt is a little bit different. They will put on a thick layer of fat and stay completely out of the water for about 2 weeks, living off that extra fat, lose all of their old feathers at once and grow the new ones all back at once. Now it's pretty funny seeing overweight bald penguins waddling around here, but they are pretty cute. I'll point out a few interesting birds out here in our pool. Our oldest penguin is this gentleman here in the middle wearing the blue and yellow band. His name is Mundo. Now Mundo is 25 years old. If that sounds really old for a penguin, it's actually right about his middle years, as these guys can live up into their mid-30s in captivity. Out in the wild, their lifespan is generally closer to 15 years. Now, Mundo is our oldest penguin or our youngest. You may notice these 3 birds up here who look slightly different from everyone else. They're almost completely black with just white bellies. These are our juveniles. The oldest of the 3 juveniles is this little girl right over here wearing red and purple. Her name is Millie, and she was a year old in October. Millie's little sister Rossi is right up here wearing red and white, and she is only a couple of days younger. Our youngest penguin overall is this little girl right here wearing yellow and black. Her name is Nymphadora, and she was hatched in February. Now, I've been calling these guys African penguins, and that's because they do indeed come from the coast of South Africa. This means that they are warm weather penguins. Now, if it gets below 40 degrees here in the zoo, we do have to leave the door to the penguin den open so these guys can stay inside and keep warm if they want to. On the coast of South Africa, these guys live on beautiful sandy beaches. A pair of penguins will build a burrow nest into the sand of their beach, and the female will lay 2 eggs at a time in that nest. Both parents take turns sitting on the eggs for 38 days, and after the chicks hatch, both parents will continue to take care of the babies. At the turn of the century, the population of wild African penguins was estimated in the millions. Around 10 years ago, scientists did a count on the population and found it down to 51,000 breeding pairs. Only 8 years later, the same scientists did another count on the population and found it down to 21,000 breeding pairs. Now, this rapid decline led to the African penguin being added to the endangered species list in 2010. Because they are a protected species, they don't have the old dangers they used to have, such as egg collecting by humans. But they do have problems with things such as habitat loss, depletion of fish resources, and also oil spills. If the penguin gets into an oil spill, the oil will coat its feathers, taking away their waterproofing and insulation ability, and also any oil that they swallow is fatal to them. not the only place our penguins are in danger. In fact, they're in danger right here in the Memphis Zoo because of coins and other objects that are thrown into their pool. If a penguin swallows a coin, the coin can become stuck in their stomach and cause them to be very sick or even die. So we ask as you're going around the zoo today that you not throw any objects into any of our exhibits. This will help us keep all of our animals happy and healthy. Now for a few last facts about the African penguin. When these guys are out fishing, they will often stay at sea for up to 2 days. Swimming underwater, they can hold their breath for 2 to 3 minutes, and they can reach a swimming speed between 14 and 20 miles per hour. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed the African penguins and their friends. I'm going to stay out here and feed for a little while longer. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer for you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at the Memphis Zoo.
Do the birds have individual personalities? They have.
Yeah.
The fish that makes it to the bottom.
They'll go back and get those later. They were just
kind of
waiting
like
for
a
these.
frenzy going on right now. Oh. Well, that was the meal. Now this is dessert.
That's right. Yeah, there's one side if you want to jump in there, Elliot.
Yes, everybody else.
Huh?
Mine.
What makes those different that they like better?
These are a higher fat fish, so they think they're a treat. This type of penguin doesn't get any bigger than this.
Well, I know they keep shaking. I wonder why.